So what we are doing here is the given scenario. 3 resources are there and 4 processes are there. Some are allocated, some are requesting. So we are going to calculate the allocation and the request by using this chart. Okay, so for p naught, this is the scene where r1 and r3 instances are allocated, r2 not allocated. Now check for p1. There are two incoming arrows. Incoming two arrows means two instances for any one of the resources have been allocated. So we just have to check कौन से resource का instance allocate हुआ है. So this is from r1 and this arrow is from r2. So we can say r1 and r2. So no any other is allocated, so simply we can write 0. Then check for p2. There is only one instance which is coming. Incoming arrow सिर्फ एक ही है for p2. So we can say कौन है इसके लिए, r2 is there. So simply we can write 0 0 for the other resources and 1 for the r2. Then check for p3. Incoming क्या है, we have only one which is incoming. From which it is incoming, r2. So one of the instance from the r2 is allocated to the p3. So 1 0 0, right? Then request. Now request means the edge will be moving from process towards the resource. Whoever it is requesting, the edge will be moving from process to that particular resource, right? So simply we can find out p naught to whom it is requesting. For there are two edges, requesting edges two hai. One is for r3, one is for r2. So we will write r2 and r3 1, remaining will be 0, right? Then check for p1. There is only one request edge which is going towards the r1. So I will write 1 0 0. Then p2 request edge किसी के लिए है, p2 request edge is for r3. p2 is sending request edge for r3. So remaining will be 0 0. Then p3 request edge, yes, r2 के लिए we have two request edge for r2 and one more is for r1, right? And the remaining one will be 0. Okay, this is our chart. Now what we have to do, the further step will be we have to find out the availability, the current availability of the resources r1, r2, r3. What is the current availability right now? There are we can say r1. For r1 we have two instances. From these two, both are allocated, so we can say 0 available. Then check for r2. There are three instances from which all are already allocated, right? There are three instances in the r2 from which all are allocated, so there is 0 availability. Check for r3. There are two instances from which only one is allocated, one is remaining, so we can write 0 0 1. So 0 0 1 is the current availability. Now we have to check whether we can assign or whether we can proceed with any process execution. This is my requirement of the processes and this is my availability. So 0 0 1, we need to compare this with respect to these processes. So 0 0 1, can we fulfill the requirement of p0? No, this is the requirement 0 1 1. So 0 0 1 allocate है, यहाँ पे हम r2 का request fulfill नहीं कर सकते हैं, so we cannot go with the p0. Then p1 1 0 0 1 0 0, no, p1 जो requirement p1 का जो r1 requirement है we cannot fulfill, so we cannot go with the p1. p2 0 0 1 0 0 1, yes, whatever the requirement of p2 is there that we can fulfill, so we will proceed with the p2 process first. So p2 will execute in some time and after executing it will release, it will be terminated. Once it will be terminated, we can say it will release all the resources which it was occupying before. After executing the entire execution, it will release the resources whatever that process have earlier. So r2 will be released, so we are going to add into the current availability. So 0 1 and this, ये earlier available तो 1 था, तो ये this is the now current availability 0 1 1 from which p2 has been done. So now 0 1 1 is the current availability. Requirement of p3 is 1 2 0. Can we go with the P3? No. Requirement is 120. We don't have this much available resources. So we cannot go with the P3. Check for P0, 011, 011. Yes, this is matching. So we can say P0 can be executed now, right? So P0 will execute in some time. After that, it will release the resources after termination, right? So what we will do, we will just add whatever the resources it has. So here 1, this is 1, this 1 plus 1 will be 2. So 112 will be the current availability, okay, after execution of P0. So P0 done. Now 112 is the current availability. Now we will check for P3 because P2 is already executed. Now we will check for P3. 120, 120. No, we don't have this R2 resource available with us, which is required by P3. So we cannot go with the P3. So what we will do, we will check for the next one, that is the P0 one. P0, 011, 011. Yes, whatever the requirement is there, that we can fulfill. So we can say, यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? P0 is already done, no? P0 is already done. Who is remaining? P2 first हुआ, P0 हुआ, then P1 is remaining. So 100, 120, 120 we cannot fulfill, isn't it? The requirement of R2 process is more than the availability. So we cannot proceed with the P3. So we will go and we will check for the P1 process. Now P1 requires 100. Yes, now we have R1 1 available. Previously we didn't have that. 1 available नहीं था R1 के लिए, right? So now one of the instance of R1 is available, so we can say we can execute the P1 process now. So now P1 will come into the CPU for further execution. P1 will execute in some time, then it will release the resources whichever it has. So P1 के पास क्या क्या था? R1 and R2 के 1 instances है. So we will add that now. 2 2 and this earlier 2 0 है ना यहाँ पे, so it will as it is. So 2 2 2 will be the current availability after the execution of P1. Now P1 is done. So only the remaining process is now P3, 120, 120. This is the requirement, this is the availability. So we can say that from this we can say P3 can now execute. So after this P3 will come. So it will execute and it will release. So 2, 3 and 2. This will be the final, we can say, availability. This is the final availability after executing all the resources, and this is the sequence P2, P0, P1, P3. See, this sequence is not a unique sequence. क्या यहाँ पे इस one, if in any one of the step it may possible कि two processes can execute according to the availability of resources. So in that case you can take any one of them earlier. मतलब वहाँ पे कुछ मेंशन नहीं है कि आपको किसके हिसाब से पहले किसको लेना है. So it is okay if you will go with the P3 first and then P1, or P1 first with the P0 then. But only the condition is it should match with the availability. It should satisfy the requirement of the resources. We have to compare that. अगर अवेलेबिलिटी भी है, रिक्वायरमेंट भी दो प्रोसेसेस का प्रोसीड हो रहा है, देन यू कैन डिसाइड कि विच वन विल एग्जीक्यूट फर्स्ट. तो इट मे पॉसिबल इन एनी वन ऑफ द केसेस किसी सोल्यूशन में कि आपका सीक्वेंस आगे पीछे हो जाए, दैट इज ओके. बट मेक श्योर this is matching. Requirement and the availability should be matched. Okay, so in this way we can say all processes can execute their work in this type of the sequence, in this order. So there is no any deadlock. There is no deadlock. This is the answer. So let me check किसका सही है. P2, P0, P1, P3, correct. Roll number 3, answer correct. P2, P0, P1, P3. Yes. #41, roll number 41. I hope you have checked your answer. आपको डेडलॉक? हाँ, ओके, चलो. So this is how we can identify by using the resource allocation graph. But then again, this is not flexible in the case. This when we can apply simply if we have um, if we have less number of resources or less number of processes, then we can analyze, we can draw a diagram, we can draw a graph, and then we can analyze, right? But if it becomes very complex, thousand of processes are there, then how we are going to do that, right? So we have more options also, but this is one of the case where we can apply the resource allocation graph, and we can design before execution. We can understand whether deadlock can occur, we can go further or not, and accordingly we can proceed. So this is what about the resource allocation graph. And in this resource allocation graph we have two parts of if the resources have single instances, if the resources have multiple instances. Okay, so even if the cycle is available in any scene, any scenario, or according to the system, if any cycle is available, but if the resources have multiple instances, then there is not necessary ki deadlock occur hoga. Okay, what I am saying is, if there is a multi instance resources available and there is a cycle into this system, if there is a cycle into this scenario or whatever the situation is given, then it is not required ki deadlock occur hoga. But earlier what we have discussed in the last session, if it is a single instance, if it is a single instance resources, in single instance resources, if rag has a circular weight, that is if it is having a cycle, then there will be always deadlock. This statement is true, that we have discussed yesterday. Okay, but remember, in multi instance resources it is not true. Okay, this is the difference between both. Now the next is, a banker's algorithm. Okay, before that, we have four methods which are used to handle the deadlock. Four methods which are used to handle the deadlock. If you will observe the previous university examination papers in our Mumbai University, then you can find in every question paper, there is a question for 10 marks based upon the deadlock. And the question structure will be like, what is deadlock, what are the four necessary conditions for the deadlock, and which are the methods to handle the deadlock. Okay, this is one of the type of questions. The second is, explain the deadlock with the four necessary conditions. ये मतलब split up करके भी पूछा जाएगा for 6 marks or 5 marks. As well as, what is the difference between deadlock avoidance and the deadlock prevention. This will be asked, or simply it will be asked to explain the deadlock avoidance methods. Okay, so if you will observe in every question paper, you will get this question for 10 marks on entire deadlock. Okay, and in some question papers the numerical will be asked with this question, whatever I have explained now, with this question, as well as one numerical will be asked on the banker's algorithm, which is the part of deadlock itself. Okay, so banker's algorithm का question भी 10 marks के लिए पूछा जाता है. So for 15 to 20 marks this question may come into the university examination. For sure the question will be for 10 marks, maximum for 15 to 16 marks. शॉर्ट नोट के लिए आएगा या फिर 5 मार्क्स के लिए आएगा, इस तरीके से. सो दिस इज हाउ मच इंपॉर्टेंट दैट आई वांट टू एक्सप्लेन. ओके, नाउ देयर आर फोर मेथड्स व्हिच आर यूज्ड टू हैंडल द डेडलॉक. द फर्स्ट मेथड इज डेडलॉक ignorance. deadlock ignorance. The second one is deadlock prevention. See, in this deadlock ignorance, simply the name itself suggests ki what this exactly means. Whenever it is possible कि sometimes in our system some situation occurs whenever whatever the processes which are running in the background they get hanged. समटाइम्स ऐसे होता है ना कि कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है, कर्सर कर्सर कुछ काम ही नहीं कर रहा है, या फिर प्रोसेसेस क्लोज ही नहीं हो रहे हैं, टैब क्लोज नहीं हो रहा है. इट हैपन्स, राइट? दैट इज वन ऑफ द केस ऑफ अवर डेडलॉक कि ऑल प्रोसेसेस आर हैंग अप. मतलब उनको कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा कि क्या करना है. आप ना आप कुछ उसको क्लोज कर पा रहे हो, ना किसी को मिनिमाइज कर पा रहे हो. इट हैपेंस समटाइम्स. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट अवर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डज, इट सिंपली इग्नोर लिनक्स में भी एज वेल एज इन द विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में भी. दिस इज द वाइडली वी कैन से यूज्ड widely used solution for the deadlock ki deadlock ignorance. Now what it exactly does, it simply closes all the processes. It doesn't continue, it will not continue any one of the process. अगर ऐसा कुछ केस हुआ जहां पे कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं है, so in that case simply all the processes will be closed, right? हम क्या करते हैं उस केस में, सिंपली या तो हम पूरे सिस्टम को ही रिस्टार्ट कर देते हैं, कुछ अगर हो ही नहीं रहा है तो, है कि नहीं, पावर ऑफ बटन कर देते हैं, फिर पावर स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. दैट इज वन ऑफ द सोल्यूशन विच इज कॉल्ड एज द डेडलॉक इग्नोरेंस. And most of the time our Windows and the Unix system or the Linux system uses this solution, that is deadlock ignorance. Now why we use this most widely? Because to prevent or to give the solution for the deadlock, we need to implement some code, right? And that code should be generalized, that should not be specialized, right? That should be generalized. So it requires or it takes more attention from the CPU, or we can say it will degrade the performance of CPU, right? In some of the cases, in some specialized cases, we need to take care about that. That is true. But sometimes it happens there is not required to deal about that deadlock. Simply to close or to ignore that process will be more convenient, or we can say it will take less time of the CPU to close that process and turn to restart that processes. Okay, वो कम time लगेगा. If we will compare the solution of the deadlock, उसके compare में जाएंगे तो उल्टा close करके वापस शुरू करना will take the less time. So that is why simply deadlock ignorance is one of the, we can say, widely used solution to ignore the deadlock. Okay. Now the second is the deadlock prevention. Now in deadlock prevention, we use the four necessary conditions. Do you remember the four necessary conditions to occur the deadlock which we have discussed in earlier sessions? Yes.
Mutual exclusion.
Yes, right.
Non-preemption.
Exactly, mutual exclusion. The second one was non-preemption, no preemption. Yes. Then
Hold and wait.
Correct.
Circular wait.
Very good. Hold and wait and circular wait. Yes, right. So these are the four conditions. Whenever these four conditions are true at the same time, then what we say, then there will be deadlock. ये हम कहते हैं, right? But if we want to prevent our system from the deadlock, then we should, what we have to do, one of the conditions should be true. One of the conditions should be false. Then we can say there will not be deadlock. Are you getting my point? What I'm saying is, if these four conditions are true, then we are saying there is a deadlock in the system. Agree? Okay. Now, if we want to prevent our system from the deadlock, then we can say if one of the step or one of this concept, if true, if false, then there will not be deadlock. Case A, C. Now what is mutual exclusion? At one time any resource should be used by any one of the process itself. Okay, यही होता है ना mutual exclusion. कि एक रिसोर्स एक टाइम पे एक ही प्रोसेस यूज करेगा. ये हमारा कंसेप्ट होता है म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन का. बट we want to false this condition, then only we can say we can prevent the deadlock. Then how we can false this condition? We can keep our resources in the sharing mode, in the sharing mode, isn't it? If we will keep these resources in the sharing mode, then even if we will have number of processes which are requesting to the resources, and by any chance if that process is waiting, or if that process will be preempted, then we can say that resource can be allocated to the another process who requires that resource, right? So one solution to this mutual exclusion is we can keep our resources in the sharing mode, that is number of cooperative process can use that resources. So we can false this mutual exclusion. Okay, we can try to keep our resources in the sharing mode. That is one solution. Now the second one is no preemption. अभी नो प्रिम्पशन ये कंडीशन अगर ट्रू होती है और ये बाकी की भी कंडीशंस अगर ट्रू हैं तो हमारा डेडलॉक अकर होता है. नो प्रिम्पशन से प्रॉब्लम क्या आती है कि हमने वो हमारा केस देखा था ना जहाँ पे P1, यहाँ पे एक P2, दिस इज R1, दिस इज R2. दिस इज द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डायग्राम फॉर द डेडलॉक एक्सप्लेनेशन. अभी P1, R1 is allocated to P1, it is requesting for R2, R2 is allocated to P2, and P2 is requesting for the R1. This is the basic scenario for the deadlock. Now what I'm saying, no preemption, if we want to false this. Now in this scenario, P1 is waiting for the R2. P1 is waiting for the R2. So it is still ongoing. It is present in the CPU, but waiting for the R2. Okay. But if there is a preemption method available, if the system allows to preempt the process, and suppose the P1 process will be preempted, process अगर preempt होती है, that means that process will be sent back again to the ready queue. क्या होता है? Process will be sent back again to the ready queue. Once the process will be sent back to the ready queue, whatever the resource is will be allocated to that process earlier will be released. So R1, R1 was acquired by the P1, right? So if the P1 will be preempted and it will be sent back to the ready queue, then this R1 will be released. ठीक है, इसको ये रिलीज कर देगा. अगर ये इसको रिलीज कर देगा, then at the same time the P2 process which was requesting for the R1, now R1 can be allocated to P2 in that case, isn't it? But the case where we required the preemption, and how we can do that, we know already, we have discussed already the scheduling methods in which we have round robin method, that is time quantum. We allocate the time quantum to the each process. Okay, suppose 5 मिनट का टाइम क्वांटम है. सो आफ्टर 5 मिनट्स ये वेट कर रहा है. सपोज P1 प्रोसेस इज वेटिंग फॉर द R2, but after 5 minutes the time will be over for the execution of this P1. Then after 5 minutes P1 will be preempted. Once the process will be preempted, whatever the resources are allocated to this P1 will be released, and P1 will be again sent back to the ready queue. Okay, then the CPU will give the access to the P2 to further execution. अब P2 फिर से एक्टिवेट हो गया तो P2 को क्या है, ऑलरेडी R2 उसके पास अवेलेबल था. Then P2 will be acquiring the R1, so which is already available, so P2 can now take and then it can continue. So ये हो सकता है, but वहां पे preemption का we can say preemption feature should be available there. If we allocate the preemption feature, then we can say whenever we want we can preempt the process and we can allocate the resources to another processes. Okay, so in that case we can prevent our deadlock. Then the third is the hold and wait. Now in the same scenario, P1 is holding the R1 and waiting for the R2. P2 is holding the R2, waiting for the R1. We should not allow this to happen, hold and wait. Then what we can do? What we can have the another option? Simply we can say process can start its execution if and only if whatever the required resources whatever the resources it requires, if all are available at the same time, then only we will allow process to execute. Then we will allocate, or then only we will allow the process to continue its execution. ओके ये हम सोल्यूशन किसके लिए दे रहे हैं? फॉर होल्ड एंड वेट, राइट. होल्ड एंड वेट में क्या होता है, एक रिसोर्स होल्ड किया, दूसरे के लिए वेट करते रह गए और फिर इनफाइनाइट लूप में चले गए, तो कोई भी एग्जीक्यूट नहीं हो पाता उस केस में. सो इन दैट केस हम क्या कर सकते हैं, if P1 wants R1 and R2 for the execution, then first of all we will ask to the P1 before starting the execution, whatever you want, tell us the requirement. See, theoretically ये simple लगता है, but practically this is not efficient method, we can say, as well as which is not up to the mark, because this is not possible कि every time process will tell whatever the resources are required, this are resources are required. No, this is not possible practically अगर हम discuss करने जाएं. But this is the method which we can apply to prevent the deadlock. Simply you have to remember, hold and wait can be avoided by taking the requirement of any process earlier. So if we have the process requirement earlier, then we can decide whether the process can continue or not, whether we have to assign the CPU to the process or not. Okay, that is for the hold and wait. The fourth one is the circular wait. अब circular wait क्या है? There is a cycle. In this case, P1 start हो रहा है, घूम के वापस P1 पे ही आके रुक रहा है according to the requirement and availability, right? Circular wait, how we can avoid this? What we can do here is, if we will assign the ordering to the resources, ordering resources, सपोज यहाँ पे हमने कहा इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर हमने असाइन कर रहे हैं. इफ वी आर असाइनिंग द नंबर्स टू द रिसोर्सेज इन द इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर, ओके, इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर में अगर रिसोर्सेज अलोकेट कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल suppose we have printer, CPU, memory and scanner. Suppose we have these 4 resources, okay, and I'm assigning the value 1 2 3 4. Fine. Now if P1 process wants any one of the resource, okay, suppose P1 wants printer first, then we will allocate this, no problem. Suppose now P1 wants memory, okay, no problem, we will allocate them. In between P2 process will come, in between if P2 process will come. Now P2 process is trying to access, or P2 process wants CPU फॉर द एग्जीक्यूशन. मान लो CPU एक रिसोर्स है, बस ऐसा कंसिडर करो यहाँ पे, या फिर कुछ और ले लो यहाँ पे, कैशे मेमोरी, कंसिडर कैशे मेमोरी. नाउ वी कैन allocate the second number to the P2 because this is available, right? But now if P2 will request for the printer, we cannot assign printer to the P2. Why? Because once it will request for the second number, it cannot access the resources which are having the lower number than this. उसका जो first request था उसके number से अगर less than number है next request का, then we cannot allocate that. Once it has requested for 2, then it has to, if it will request for 3 4, that is okay, we can think about it. But if earlier अगर रहेगा ना, we cannot allocate, right? So in that case we can say, मतलब यहाँ पे अगर ऐसा होता, if we are allowing the circular wait, then what will happen? Or if we are not allowing the sequential method or ordering method, और अगर इसने प्रिंटर को रिक्वेस्ट किया, then what will happen? ये रिक्वेस्ट ऐसे चला जाता फिर से, है कि नहीं? इसको सर्कुलर वेट हो जाता ना, अगर ये भी कनेक्टेड रहता तो सर्कुलर वेट हो जाता. फाइन. सो इट कैन रिक्वेस्ट टू द नेक्स्ट वन, द नंबर विच इज ग्रेटर देन द अर्लियर रिक्वेस्ट, इट कैन रिक्वेस्ट, तो यहाँ पे होल्ड में चला जाएगा. बट इट कैन नॉट रिक्वेस्ट टू द लोअर नंबर, अदरवाइज इट विल जनरेट एन सर्कल, अ साइकिल, right? So we can avoid the circular wait by simply ordering the resources. This is one of the solution. We can think for the different one also, but remember we can avoid like this. So we have to make sure These four necessary conditions which are required or which are very suitable for the deadlock, we have to make sure one of the step or one of the this condition should be false. Then only we can prevent the deadlock. Okay, this is the second method which is used to handle the deadlock. The third one is deadlock detection and recovery, and the fourth one is deadlock avoidance. Now deadlock detection and recovery means simply before allocating resources, before starting the execution of processes, we are analyzing. It may possible we are using the resource allocation graph, we are designing the requirement allocation and the request of the resources to the process. We are designing simply, and then we are analyzing. So we are detecting there whether the deadlock can occur or not. Okay, and recovery is some if we can say if there is a deadlock, if there will be deadlock happen, then we how we can control that? Simply assigning the sequence कि यहाँ पे P1 को ही पहले नहीं देना है, we have to execute the P2 first because according to the current situation availability is for P2, so let the P2 execute first. If we will wait for the P1 itself to execute first, and if there is not availability, then it will go for the infinite waiting time, right? So there will not be any meaningful execution of processes will happen in that case. So it is better to assign, better to understand or to detect whether the deadlock can happen or not, and how we can control that by considering or by fixing the order of execution of your processes. Okay. Now, deadlock avoidance. Now, what is deadlock avoidance? Simply, it checks for whether the current situation or the current system scenario is safe for the execution or unsafe for the execution. A safe unsafe क्या है? Safe means some simply deadlock cannot happen. Deadlock will not happen. उसका मतलब है कि system safe है फिर. If it is unsafe, means deadlock can happen. Okay, and deadlock avoidance can be implemented by using the Banker's algorithm. There is a one solution, or we can say there is a one algorithm which is called as the Banker's algorithm. Sometimes in competitive examination the question will be asked like Banker's algorithm is a deadlock avoidance method or the deadlock prevention method. Remember, deadlock avoidance method is a Banker's algorithm. Okay, and simply we use or simply we check for the safe or the unsafe situation. Okay, so these are the four methods which are used to handle the deadlock, and now we have to see for deadlock avoidance, that is Banker's algorithm. Now, Banker's algorithm is, as I said, this is used to avoid the deadlock and to allocate your resources safely to each process in our computer system, right? And why this is called as Banker's algorithm? Because this concept is something based upon the banking application. Like if someone is applying, any account holder is applying for the loan from the bank, then how bank will think in that process or in that situation? If bank have that much sufficient amount to distribute into the account holder, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि सपोज बैंक इज हैविंग 1 लाख रुपीज, okay, total if bank is having 1 lakh rupees, okay, and there are 5 account holders are available into that bank, okay, then what will happen if one of the account holder is applying for the loan for 80,000? Suppose one of the account holder is applying for 80,000 loan, whether bank can allocate this, whether bank can approve this loan? No. 1 लाख में से 80,000 अगर उसने उस अकाउंट होल्डर को ही दे दिया, देन बचे हुए लोगों ने भी अगर अप्लाई कर दिया फॉर द लोन, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? बैंक कैन नॉट अप्रूव दैट. According to account holder, if they are the bank, they are the accountant, they are the account holder of that bank, then they should get that loan, isn't it? But bank will check, अगर इसने 80% मांगा है ना, according to the availability of the current amount, they will apply for, suppose 40, they will approve for 40,000 or 50,000 maximum. तो वहां पे वो सिचुएशन चेक की जाती है अकॉर्डिंग टू द करंट सिनेरियो कि पैसा बैंक के पास कितना है, अकाउंट होल्डर कितने हैं और उसने मांगा कितना है. इसको कंपैरिजन करके उसको अमाउंट जो है अप्रूव किया जाता है. ठीक है. सो इस तरीके से अप्रूव किया जाता है सो दैट इवन इफ द अकाउंट रिमेनिंग अकाउंट होल्डर्स विल अप्लाई, दे विल ऑल्सो गेट द बेनिफिट. उनको ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि नहीं हमारे पास पैसा नहीं, अब तुमको लोन नहीं मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. They will also gain some amount. Okay, so there is this system or these steps will be applied in our operating system concept also to allocate the resources to the process. Okay, so that is why we called it as a banker's algorithm. There are some advantages. It contains various resources that we can say that will meet the requirement of each process. But the main we can say ये limitation भी है. This is also one of the advantage that each process should provide information to your operating system for upcoming resource request. Okay, not only upcoming resource request as well as whatever the number of resources it requires and how long the resources will be held, that is how much time या फिर maximum for how much time that resource will be required by that each process. So these all information will be gathered in the earlier stage only before the execution. मतलब मान लो अभी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में 5 processes we have currently. ठीक है. So each process should earlier advertise कि how many resources it requires as well as how many times it requires maximum and how much time it requires. Okay, so once it will be given, once it will advertise its requirement, in between the execution, after allocation, after order selection, ये सब होने के बाद, in between the execution of these all processes, no any process can increase its request of the resource. This is the limitation of this banker's algorithm. वाइवा क्वेश्चंस में ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है, व्हाट इज द डिसएडवांटेज और व्हाट इज द रिस्ट्रिक्शन इन द बैंकर्स एल्गोरिथम. इन बिटवीन द एग्जीक्यूशन no any process can request the new can apply for the new request of any resources. That is the limitation of your banker's algorithm, right? So it requires a fixed number of processes and no additional processes can be started in the system while executing the process. The algorithm will no longer allow the processes to exchange its maximum need while processing its task, isn't it? So this is what the limitation. We will solve numericals, 2 numericals on the banker's algorithm because the question will be asked for 10 marks in university examinations, so it is important one. So we'll solve 2 or 3 examples based upon this in the tomorrow's session. Okay.